Good morning and happy Father's Day. I know society does not put a strong emphasis on celebrating fathers, but I hope today you guys feel loved and appreciated. And again, happy Father's Day. Okay, so let's talk about the storm Walmart just walked into and why it's setting off alarm bells on the right. And no, it's not about supply chains or prices or even Chinese goods. It's about a billionaire heiress funding an anti-Trump movement with Walmart money. Welcome to Nelly Miranda. Before we get into today's video, please make sure you like and subscribe as it really helps support the channel. Okay, let's start with the facts. Christy Walton, widow of John Walton, part of the founding Walmart dynasty, owns 1.9% of the company. That's billions of dollars in stock and influence. Rather than keeping quiet about her woke crusade, she just poured money into a group called No Kings, which is an anti-Trump political campaign that's now running full-page ads in the New York Times. So the question is, why would a Walmart heiress publicly attack the most popular Republican in the country and risk a nationwide boycott of her own family's brand? Well, follow the money. Her wealth depends heavily on cheap Chinese imports. And who's been the biggest threat to that system? President Donald J. Trump, with tariffs, trade restrictions, and American first policies. So while she's funding activism, small town America is asking a very simple question. Why are we giving our hard-earned money to people who openly hate our values? This could be Walmart's Bud Light moment. We've seen this before. Remember what happened when Bud Light pandered to the woke crowd, or when Target pushed identity politics into the children aisles?
Let me tell you a story about a beer rooted in the heart of America.
This morning, it's the new Budweiser ad campaign that Anheuser-Busch hopes will help the company ride out a boycott. It features the nostalgia of an iconic Clydesdale galloping through all-American landscapes with men grabbing a couple of cold ones together.
This is a story bigger than beer.
The ad coming 2 weeks after Bud Light's partnership with transgender influencer Dylan Mulvaney.
This month, I celebrated my day 365 of womanhood, and Bud Light sent me possibly the best gift ever, a can with my face on it.
Target is facing a boycott threat over its LGBTQ support. The retailer has announced it is pulling some Pride merchandise from its shelves.
The chain's decision to pull some LGBTQ plus merchandise from its Pride collection. We bumped into actress Saffron Burrows.
I identify as LGBTQ, and my kids are really proud of the fact that when we go to Target, there's all this Pride Month and Pride awareness, and it makes them feel really good that our family is affirmed.
See, in both of those boycotts, there were massive losses, damaged reputations, and corporate execs scrambling. Walmart could be next, not because of what's in the store, but because of who's behind the curtain. You can't slap an American flag on your 4th of July sales and then fund anti-American messaging behind closed doors. That's gaslighting. Now let's talk about Code Pink, the far-left activist group known for interrupting congressional hearings. Its co-founder, Jody Evans, who used to slam China for its treatment of the Uyghurs, human rights violations, forced labor, the whole thing. But suddenly she's quiet. You wonder why? Because she married a man named Neville Roy Singham, a wealthy businessman with ties to the Chinese Communist Party. He donated millions to Code Pink, and poof, now it's all anti-Trump and pro-Beijing talking points. And guess what? The same network of donors involved in Code Pink's shift is also propping up this No Kings campaign.
The big question for everybody as these protests have unfolded in Los Angeles and across the country was who's funding them and who's behind all this. Now we know that the head of the FBI, or the FBI and the IRS have somebody in their crosshairs. So we took a look at this person. This is an American businessman, a former billionaire living in Shanghai at the moment. And according to the House Oversight Committee, they tell News Nation, he will be called to testify about his ties to the CCP, his funding of nonprofits, anti-Israel groups, protests on college campuses, and at least one of the groups connected to these Los Angeles protests. His name is Neville Roy Singham. He's an American who sold his company in 2017 for close to $1 billion. So let me try and connect the dots further. Reports show that he funded groups like the People's Forum, that's based in New York City, to the tune of millions. The People's Forum has deep personnel overlap with the Party of Socialism and Liberation, known as the PSL. It's a communist political party that has organized large-scale anti-ICE protests in Los Angeles. Now, Alex Goldenberg with the Network Contagion Research Institute has been unpacking Singham's influence and funding for 2 years. Here he is.
He has a footprint in India, South Africa, London, and is quite active in the United States, funding a network of nonprofit organizations to the tune of tens of millions of dollars. And he's not just funding activism. What we find is he's funding and exporting an authoritarian-aligned ideology under the banner of like American nonprofit legitimacy.
This is not about Trump. It's about protecting the flow of money and influence from foreign interest disguised as activism. But let's zoom out. This isn't just about Christy Walton or a one ad campaign. It's part of a larger pattern, coordinated attempts to create chaos, blame Trump, and paint his policies as extreme, no matter what the facts are. Take Letitia James in New York or Mayor Eric Adams in NYC, who, believe it or not, might actually be leaning pro-Trump on law enforcement now. Meanwhile, Attorney General Letitia James is salivating for another high-profile Trump lawsuit.
He built his wealth off the backs of New Yorkers.
We need to focus on Donald Trump and his abuses. We need to follow his money. We need to find out where he's laundered money. All of those transactions have happened here in New York City. Tell this president and every other individual that no one is above the law.
Because for the Democrats, everything is about one thing: getting Trump no matter the cost. Even Bernie Sanders used to oppose open borders. Obama deported more people than Trump ever did, but now suddenly borders are racist and rights are people. Bernie really changed his stance on open borders, didn't he? First, it was the right who wanted open borders for cheap labor. Now the right opposes open borders, but they're racist for it, and we must protest. The hypocrisy is way too loud. The left doesn't seem to have any real beliefs. They just react to whoever's in power, and Trump still lives rent-free in their heads.
Huge group of people. We're in the outskirts right now of the crowd, but if you can see the crowd kind of going in towards the art museum, it's packed shoulder to shoulder out here on the street. You can see people still flooding in from Center City through the Parkway, trying to get in to hear some of the speeches that are happening. There are different speakers taking to the stage. You can see a lot of signs, a lot of American flags out here. Now, we have seen it overwhelmingly very peaceful. People of all ages showing up today to participate in the No King's Day protest. We just witnessed what was, it seemed like some kind of argument between two different groups of people, but police were quick to respond to it. And if you take a look around, I mean, there are police officers kind of just all over, and the main goal there is to keep the peace, make sure that this remains a peaceful protest. We've been asking people why they came out here, because we've seen people come from all over, from New York, from Virginia, and of course from right here in Philly. We asked them why they wanted to participate. Here's an answer we got.
Well, what brought me out is I felt it incumbent upon myself to, exercise my civic duties and protest the tyranny coming out of this administration. Yeah. It's just ridiculous.
So here's the bottom line. Walmart has a choice: stick to selling affordable products or keep funding woke political movements and risk losing the trust of their entire base, because Americans are done being guilt-tripped, done being manipulated, and done funding billionaires who look down on them. So, quick question. Are you still shopping at Walmart after this? And should big corporations stay out of politics? Let me know in the comments. And as always, if honest commentary brings you value, please make sure you like and subscribe and tap the notification bell so you never miss an update. Thanks so much for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.